Hello, hello. Welcome. Welcome to the High Value Renaissance. I am feeling high value today. I even put my new lipstick on. I'm a little distracted by the brightness in my lips, but we have a beautiful masterclass planned for you today. I'm just going to give a moment to let some more beautiful high value guides into the space, but I see some former clients. I see some new faces. I see some people I recognize. You can actually take a moment if you'd like and go on gallery view and check out your brothers and sisters who you can go on this journey with. I think that everything is more fun together. And I also really love personal support. And today we're going to talk about different models of business, like how to be a high value guy, but we're gonna focus on pricing. And I'm gonna take you on a journey that's going to find your soul aligned price, which I'm really excited about. So this is gonna be such a game changer for you. If you have an offer, but it's not selling at your current price point, and it could be that it's too low, it could be that it's too high. We're gonna figure all that out together today. And it's going to be beneficial for you if you don't even have an offer. So this masterclass doesn't require you to be at a certain level in your business. You can just be getting started. You can be switching your niche. You could be designing an offer, a new offer that you're excited about putting out into the world, or you could be refining an offer you already have. If you have an offer and it's not selling, this class is for you. If you don't have an offer and you want it to fill up with joy to work with clients, this class is for you. And who I'm speaking to in this class is a transformational facilitator, a coach, a mentor, a healer, a guide, somebody who provides a transformational experience through their offer. Okay, so whether you've been delivering one-off sessions and now you want to package up a program, or you've been delivering retreats and you want to have a business that you can have more space that's more aligned with you, wherever you've been, this is the catalyst for growth. Amazing. So I would love to hear. We got some comments coming in. I'm going to pull the comments up so that I can see your comments. But I do want to ask, where do you feel like you are at in your business right now? You can let me know what kind of guide you are. You can let me know who you help. You can let me know anything that you feel is relevant in the chat so I can get a sense of who is here with me so I can personalize this masterclass for you today. I'm going to answer your personal questions towards the end. And I do have some very significant notes. I started channeling this morning, like all the details of what I want to have in this masterclass. And that comes with experience. Like sometimes my classes are planned months in advance. And this one, the topic was planned, but today I really tuned into this class and got some insight into what exactly I want to teach today. But let me know where you're coming in, how you're feeling, what you're excited to learn about today, and we'll personalize this masterclass. So Vanessa says, switching niches and figuring out how to sell a new offer. So happy to be here. I love this because I know that we've worked together in the past, which we've worked together in one of my self-paced courses, which I'll get into models of business, but self-paced has not been my favorite because I know that Vanessa is a student of mine, but I don't know you as well as I'd like to. And this is why I became a high value guide with intimacy into my offer, because it was right for me. But I do love offering my courses a la carte for the people who want to learn from me. But my most fulfilling model of business is being close with my clients, understanding their business and their mindset, and really being able to guide them from what I know about them. Experienced coach and trainer, just finishing my training to be a menopause doula and working with midlife folks, women after 40. I love this. This is such an amazing theme. I'm actually helping multiple women who are working with people at a certain age. And a woman of a certain age, that just came to me. One of my friends posted that. I'm a woman of a certain age, and I am too. I just turned 40, and when I read my friend's post and she was like, I'm a woman of a certain age, and she's moving closer to 50, and she was like, what that means to me is I take less bullshit. There's just less bullshit in my life. And I feel that as well. And no matter what age you're at, you're probably at a point in your business where you're not here to mess around anymore. Like you want less bullshit, more like real strategy. And the mindset stuff is at any level. We are working through mindset. We get to work through mindset and the energetics of it all at any level. It's not like beginners need more mindset work, but beginners need different mindset work. So whether you're starting out or you're at a certain age or you're at a certain season in your business, this class is really going to help. So Joanna says, greetings, a womb healer and chant channel. I work with women on their spiritual journey through their womb healing. I offer a 4-week program and summer retreats in France. I love that. I've been checking out your content. Mafir, I'm so happy to be here. I'm here to learn how to feel comfortable selling my service at a correct price. I love this. I love this because correct can be a word that can bring some stuff up in people, especially if they've had resistance to school. And there's, and in the spiritual world, we're often resistant to right and wrong. And at a certain spiritual level, there is no right and wrong, but there is right or wrong for you. And so I'm not going to tell you to do it exactly my way or to have a price that I have. What we're going to develop today is the correct price for you in this season of biz where you're at. And it may surprise you what that price is. And then towards the end of the class, I am going to help you to focus on the only 3 things you need to focus on to ensure that you're selling at your correct price. And selling, another way to say this, is enrolling clients, enrolling customers, enrolling students, inviting, getting signups. Like if selling is a word that you're resistant to, we're going to unlock that today as well. And I'm going to help you to shift that. But selling is nothing to be resistant to. Selling is a service. And we're going to talk about that later. Nicole says, hey, looking good. Oh, thank you. My question is how to price a 4-week upcoming program when you are just getting started with courses, say with a weekly module. Oh, I love this question. I'm going to keep this in mind. And I've had a call with you and I love that you work in questions because I also work in questions. Your questions activate my channel. So if you have a question, type it in the chat. I'm going to try to go back into the chat towards the end, but I am going to answer personal questions for everyone who wants a personal question answered towards the end of today. Let's see. Now, I know a lot of you who are here, but you might not know me that well. I'm not sure because some people are coming in after following me for years. Some people I've met here at the lake. Some are past clients. But either way, I'm Christina Gomes, and I help transformational facilitators, people like coaches, mentors, healers, intuitive guides. I help people like you go high value, to craft a high value offer and to fill it up in ways that feel aligned. So you might have been studying marketing, you might have read business books, and what I have found from reading like the big boy business books and like studying with some of the great marketers of the world is that a lot of that stuff doesn't relate to big-hearted spiritual entrepreneurs. But I have developed ways to help you market in ways that work, but also to keep your integrity, to not do anything that feels out of integrity or harmful. The kind of sales that I teach in my programs, I have coined transformational sales, but it's about being trauma informed and it's about not pushing on people's fear to buy because that doesn't create the best clients anyway. So we're going to get into that a little bit today. And Genevieve, hello. Genevieve and I just closed Resonance, my live 6-week training on messaging, training and coaching program around messaging. And Genevieve has recently pivoted back into the coaching space as a transformational coach for soul-led women over 30, focusing on emotional resilience and holistic wellness, launching a new offer, but still figuring out pricing. Happy to be here. I love this because here's what it is. And I wrote this. I'm going to pull up my notes because I know that I wrote it the way that I want to say it. And it's quite a little funny way to say it. Let me move my notes over so I can still see everyone's faces, but also my notes. Yes. So I think you're going to like the way that I wrote this. And this is a little behind the scenes of like, if you are saying things the way that you want to say them, like the way that you're hearing them, if you're using people words, you're going to have an easier time attracting clients. So a lot of my work is, yes, around offer crafting, and price is a part of crafting that offer. You can't have an offer fully crafted if you don't know the price point, and you can't sell an offer if you don't have at least a roundabout idea of the price point. If you have tiered pricing, you need to be clear about that tiered pricing. When you go out in the world and you say, oh, pay what you can, and then people are like, well, okay, $2. And you're like, this is the transformational offer. You're just going to give me $2, and you feel resentment towards that. Well, you're just feeling resentment towards the strategy that you put in place. And there's no, we're not blaming anyone here, but yeah, it's your fault. No, it's just we get to look at, what did I say that made someone believe that they could just give me $2 for this offer? Because it's not a problem if you want to have a low cost offer. This class is going to be incredibly valuable. Later, it could be $100 class. I haven't decided what I'm going to sell it for, but this is an offer that is free for right now, but it is like valued, it isn't easy to value your offers, and that's why we're going to do it in a soul aligned way, but I will definitely sell it for more than free. But I'm very, very happy to offer this free class, and it is a part of my strategy, my intentional connective strategy. It's not a misaligned strategy or a manipulation strategy, which I'm going to talk about that later. A lot of you might be resistant to marketing because you're intuitive, you see the manipulation tactics that people are using. And then when you learn from someone that isn't heart-centered, it isn't a transformational facilitator first like I am, then you're getting misinformation and you're trying to fit yourself into the old paradigm of selling and marketing that is just not going to be fun for you and will lead to burnout. So how did I talk about offers? Okay, so some people, soul-led leaders, visionaries, deep people, they are treating their offer like a side chick when the offer is the main chick, is the only chick. It's the offer is monogamy. Well, you might be treating it like, a polyamorous relationship, which I have nothing, no, I do have something against personally, but no, most of my friends, I live in a spiritual community. Most of my friends are polyamorous, ethical, non-monogamous. If you're into that world, nothing wrong with it. It's just, I know that I want a monogamous relationship. I'm not a side chick. Your offer is not a side chick. And people are like, oh yeah, I gotta create content. I have to have this software. I have to have this selling technique. I have to have all this stuff. But without a soul aligned offer packaged in a proper way, like we're gonna start on today, then all the other stuff, it won't work. And then so you're trying to have, a monogamous relationship with your business and really value your business and really value your clients, but your energy is spread on all these different things that eventually it's cool. If you want to learn how to organize your Google Drive, or you want to, things that I've bought over the years, like learning the ins and out of YouTube, it eventually helped me with something else. But I didn't need to understand how to use YouTube before I had an offer, because then I was just out creating YouTube content, but I didn't have clients or money to keep creating content for free. So my ultimate goal is that you do not become an underpaid content creator creating free content for the rest of your life or even for the next month, that every post leads to a client getting closer to signing on to work with you. And that's how you get paid to create content. That's how Instagram pays you. That's how these platform pays you. It's not that you make a lot of money from YouTube residual checks. You like, or whatever, like if you get famous on YouTube, cool. And you have a lot of followers on YouTube, amazing. And like ultimately you can monetize these platforms by having an amazing offer and understanding that your offer is the heartbeat of your mission. Your offer is the heart of your mission. It's the heartbeat of your mission. It is the most important thing to focus on if you don't have clients right now, or if you don't have the amount of clients that you'd like. The offer is the most important thing to focus on. So pricing is part of that focus. Amazing. So without an aligned offer, your clients might be misaligned, and that's no fun. So without an aligned offer, your clients might be misaligned, and that can lead to no fun in the business, or less fun, less enjoyment. If you have a really heavy client, or a client that you don't feel equipped to help, or a client that doesn't understand how the process works, or just clients that you don't feel aligned or like excited to get out of bed and coach or guide or meet up with, it's like, then, you start to feel constricted. My clients rise me out of bed in the morning. I get downloads for my clients. I'm thinking about my clients in healthy ways, not thinking, oh, I better deliver all this shit, I better like work my ass off, or they're not going to want to pay me. Those are restrictive thoughts. I'm like, wow, my client is so amazing. I want to help them in all the ways that I said I would wanted to help them. And I start channeling for my clients. And this is why I have a limited space in certain amount of offers, because of this gift that I have, and you might have this gift as well. And we don't want to do anything that can lead to burnout. So we want to focus on an aligned offer. Your aligned offer will be different than mine. So from my experience of over a decade as an entrepreneur, and 5 years now working with transformational facilitators, so coaches, healers, mentors, guides, and whatever you want to call yourself. Like, you want to call yourself a hardest, like my client now. You want to call yourself a purpose doula or a womb awakening queen. I want you to know that none of that matters. And what I'm going to teach you today is not what you call yourself, but how you attract clients. And it's not by what you call yourself. Like, people are coming to your platforms thinking, what's in it for me? Even the most giving, overgiving, caring person, when they're looking for a guide, they're not thinking like, oh, they're not just thinking, are they cool? That's a part of it. Like, do we vibe? That's a part of it, but it's actually a smaller part of it than you'd think. It's actually like, if they connect with you, that's great. If they think like your energy, that's amazing. But if your offer isn't like designed to help them with something, or to guide them through a transformation, or to guide them through a problem that they say that they have, then you can call yourself whatever you want. It's never going to matter. And especially when you call yourself something that doesn't already exist in the world, like purpose doula. If people have to Google your title and then nothing comes up, think about how much work you're making your customer do, when you could be helping more customers and helping more clients and teaching more students. So I just want to say that if you have a weird title that you think is cute, like clarity trumps cute and clever all the time. And listen, I am the cleverest, cutest little munchkin in the world. I think I'm the cutest. I know I'm the cleverest. And so I had to learn this lesson myself. Like, clarity is way more important than cute and clever. It really is. In business, like, be your cute, clever self, like create content that's cute and clever, like Keep going with that. Call yourself whatever you want, but I'm going to teach you today what matters to attract clients. And if you've been hyper focused on what do I call myself or getting 100 certifications or trying to be the smartest woman in the room, like I know where that comes from and that's okay. I've been there. Like, comes from trauma. Like, you don't have to be the smartest, cleverest person in the room. You just have to have an offer that solves a problem for someone or that helps somebody deeply, helps them transform. So, and we get to price it correctly so that people want it. Okay. So, side chick, main chick. So, today I'm going to share 3 ways an offer can be misaligned. Because if your offer is misaligned even a little, it can trickle into burnout. Okay. And we aren't about that burnout life. And if burnout sneaks up on you, like it can take a longer time to recover from burnout than it does like anything else. Like, and it also can be fast. I just like we can recover from burnout fast. So I want to give you that as well. I don't want to scare anyone, but to like, you don't have to focus all your life on burnout. You just need to focus on an aligned offer so that it's impossible to burn out if your offer is aligned. So if you're starting to feel burnout or feel like something isn't right here, then instead of like trying to rename yourself or give yourself a new name, you want to focus back in on your offer. And I'm going to teach you today 3 ways that can be misaligned so you can audit your offer. You can self-audit your offer and see if anything's misaligned. It can lead to burnout. And what I want you to know is that different seasons are going to be different for you. And I think I talk about this later in the masterclass, but it's coming through now. So I'm just going to say it like this last season, the last 4 months, I really have this desire to focus on my one-to-one mentorship, even though that's technically not the way to scale your business. So if you go to a bro marketing class or you go to a business coach and they're like, scale, 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 and you don't even know what scaling means, totally like to scale usually is like trying to do more scale, like climate, more. And I actually didn't want more. I wanted deeper. So I focused on my mentorship. I filled it up. I'm filling it up another round. I got 2 new clients in the mentorship. Amazing. That's flowing. That's an aligned offer. I put my group offer on just pause for a moment because it was feeling misaligned and I had to audit it, right? So now I audit it and now I'm relaunching it. Amazing. So you see how this works. If you're feeling burnout, it's not about, it's not time to organize your closet, although it also is time to organize your closet. That could help. But like, it's not time to, hire a big team or go get ads or make a new offer. It's time to audit the current offer you have. And if a new offer is aligned, then you create the new offer. Okay, so I'm going to share with you 3 ways the offer can be misaligned. I'm going to take you through a guided experience to find your soul aligned price. Stay with me for that because that is why you're here. That's what I've been marketing. That's how I've been promoting this. And it's an offer that I've normally reserved for my paying clients that has changed their lives, changed my life. And so we're into it. And then what else am I doing today? We've got it written down. I'm going to answer personal questions and I'm going to offer some tweaks you can make to your offer today so that it is more aligned. We're not just going to talk about the problems. I'm going to offer solutions and I'm going to help you right in this call. So from there, we'll talk about the only 3 things you need to focus on over the next month to ensure your offer sells at that price point, because burnout comes from shiny object syndrome. So if you have started to focus on something other than these 3 things and you don't have the amount of clients you want or the kinds of clients you want or clients at all, then clear the distractions, focus on these 3 things, come back to these 3 things. And if you want help with any of these 3 things, I have an opportunity for you. Okay, so first I want to share that I've been there. I've been there and I'm always there. Whether you want to make your first 1K, your first 100K, or you're on the path of the millionaires, staying in tune with your offer, its price, packaging, and delivery happens at every stage. So, meaning like I'm always there with you because auditing my offer is the thing. Auditing your offer, looking at your offer, making sure it's aligned, bettering your offer if it's a signature offer, crafting the offer, making it better every time you launch. This is the thing. When you know your offer, when you're intimately connected to your offer, expressing its value is a little more natural, but I also have techniques and strategies for that as well. Messaging is nuanced, okay? It's not like you just create your I help statement, pop it on your bio, name yourself like unique that nobody knows what it is, and then boom, you get clients. It is not, it's actually simpler than that. So it's not like that, but it's actually simpler than that. And sometimes you overcomplicate business. All right, so like I said, this masterclass is for you, even if you're going for the millionaires, right? The millionaire status. Like when you're at the stage that I'm at, you may be creating an offer suite. So I now have more than one offer only because I have mastered the 3 things I'm going to share with you at the end of this call. Without mastering these things, it can be very dangerous to just keep creating new offers, because you'll find yourself creating new offers going, okay, that one didn't sell, new offer. That one didn't sell, new offer. And you never actually learn how to sell. And you get on this burnout wheel of creating new offers because you think that the offer is the problem, but it's actually when the offer is aligned, the offer is not the problem. So right now the offer might be the problem, but once the offer is aligned, the offer is not the problem. Okay, there's other problems now that we get to solve. Being an entrepreneur is about solving problems, and I like money does not solve the problems. At the 6-figure level, you get to, maybe you want to create a new offer, maybe you want to have, maybe you do want to scale your business and have a more self-paced offer, maybe you want to offer a more accessible offer. And so we're going to talk about all that today. So I want to know, what is the price of your best offer before we get into the 3 things that might be misaligned about your offer? I want to know what the price of your best offer is. No judgment. And if you didn't create that offer yet, the price that you're thinking, because we're going to make a comparison, because you're going to find your soul aligned price, but I want you to give me your thinking price and your thoughts around that. And there's no judgment. I just want to see also the range of people who are here. If you're selling low ticket, if you're selling mid ticket, or you're selling high ticket. And I want you to know that none is better or worse. And high ticket isn't more high value. There's a lot of people out there selling low ticket and adding a lot of value to their offers. So I want to make that differentiation. I talk about it a lot in my other masterclasses, so I won't get too deep into it here, but we'll get into it. We will. I have a $7 course and all the way up to a secret $20,000 offer that's not for everybody, so it's a secret. But my highest value offer is actually a mid-ticket offer, and we'll get into the levels in a moment, but I want to hear about your offers. And I see we have some beautiful new words in the chat. Finding guidance as I'm stepping into my purpose and creating my business. I'm in the early phases. I want to offer one-to-one individual sessions to guide people to transform their life. Already, I want you to know that if you're sought after sage and one-to-one is your jam, you do not have to settle for hustling for one-off sessions. So my advice right off the bat for anyone who's a sought after sage who wants to work one-on-one with people, you might think, oh, it's easier to sell $100 thing. It's not. Package up your sessions, give 4 at a time, give 20 at a time, whatever amount of months that is, and sell that. And you'll see it's actually easier to sell the thing that people want. And I'm going to get into that today. But since you're just getting started, you may think, oh yeah, I just need to have sessions cost $100, do what everybody else does. And all those people, ask them if they're still in the game today. All those people that are selling one-off sessions, how they feel about that. If you're hustling for session after session, you're going to eventually burn out. So today I want to invite anybody to package up your gifts into a transformational offer, whether it's one-on-one or group. Have it be a length, even if it's 4 weeks, which is short, but even if it's a week, long retreat, like something that has length to it, because true transformation does not happen in one thing. It does not happen in one session. And, you could be a miracle worker and that could be your whole thing. And if you're a miracle worker, if you're Jesus Christo, if you're Yeshua and you do miracles and you know for a fact that your sessions can give a result in one session, then talk to me. Then I can teach you how to sell that. But usually transformation is a process. So amazing. How to get more clients, amazing. Like that's everything I teach. Finding it difficult to sell at my amazing retreats and my one-to-one program. I don't have a client every month. So far I had 3 months in a row and then suddenly nobody in March and April. Yeah, that can happen sometimes. So my heart goes out to you. If you've had an income dip, if you're on a plateau or you've had an income dip, this can be very discouraging. This is almost like worse than having clients and then having none. It can feel worse. So this is exactly what we're talking about today, and we're going to get into that and the 3 things you need to focus on to attract clients. Okay, replenish self-paced tier with group support. Around 1,500, 5,000 for 6 months. Still looking what's aligned here. Amazing. So we're going to talk about all this, but I just wanted to give you like the before and after, like your thought price. And here's why. Usually when we're thinking about price, we start thinking about the wrong thing. We start thinking, well, if it's 6 months, then it's got to cost this. If it's 6 months and my one-off sessions are 100 and there's 13, and it's like, oh, we're doing math here. And we start thinking about shit that doesn't matter. And this makes our offers misaligned. Because then you think, oh, well, I extended my offer for a month. Where are my clients? But that's not what sells your offer. Only the 3 things that we're going to talk about at the end of this class sell your offer. So when we're going like, oh, okay, I want more clients, let me just make it a month longer, and then we don't get more clients, this can be discouraging. We're like, oh, I give up. And I don't want you to give up. This is your mission. This is your soul's calling, and I'm here to help you stay in the game and take actions that actually work and have strategies that actually work. So yeah, your soul price is different. We're gonna get into that. So 555 is the number of positive change. My retreats cost between 400 and 650 depending on rooms. Also glad I asked this question because numerology can often get us tripped up. And I love repeating numbers. You will see that, I'm a spiritual gal. I got my 1K courses cost 1111. It's like, yeah, you get taxed $111 because I'm spiritual. And I'm a 5 in numerology, so I totally get it. 5s are great numbers. And you may want to infuse your numerology into how many clients you want or how many clients you see. Usually I see 5 people in my mastermind, and which was so disappointing because 20 people would mean a lot more money, but when I see 5, it doesn't mean that I lower my price to $500. We're going to price today on the only thing that matters, and numerology is low on the list. And if you're spiritual and you're like, fuck you, I don't believe it, go ahead. But like, ask yourself, do you have the amount of clients that you want? And if we're pricing too low for a transformational offer, people aren't going to see the value. And a retreat that costs $500, I'd be like, what's wrong with this retreat? A retreat that costs $1,000, I'd be like, oh, I'm happy to save my money for this retreat. And so we got to actually think about how people buy and not in like 5D like, yes, you're going to get visions, and I'm going to take you through a visionary practice today, but you want to focus on what actually attracts clients. And if people are buying because of your repeating numbers only, then I wonder if they're going to take the action to get the result, to get the transformation. And that can be discouraging when people buy just because you're spiritual, or just because of different things. Like, it's often not the most fun client. The most fun client for me are people who take action and give me some juice, give me some questions. So you're all really fun client right now. Okay, don't have an offer yet. So what are you thinking about charging? What are your thoughts about price? So no offer yet, just 2 ebooks. Great. So these are priced appropriately for ebooks. So that's good. You have a low ticket offer. So you have an offer. You have a low ticket offer. Books are low ticket offers, and books are not easy. So, the hardest thing to do and the hardest thing to market costs the lowest. That don't make no sense to me. And so I focus my work on high value offers, because like they're easier to price, and you get more bang for your buck. Like, you put a lot into a book, and books can change people's lives, and then you only get to charge $15 for it. That doesn't make no sense for me. But that's the low ticket offer. That can be part of the strategy. Great. So we have we're charging per session. We're charging for a 4-week course. 5 people in my groups. I need to work on my 5. Yeah, like channeling where this 5 goes. Like, if 5 is the number of freedom or change, like, where can I infuse more freedom and change into my life? That's how I see it. If I'm seeing 5s everywhere, if I'm seeing 1s everywhere, I focus on what that means for me. And yeah, and we're gonna price on other things today. But I love, it's like we can tell who like is spiritual, because all of our prices are like 4, 4, 4, 4. And it's okay. It's okay if it's that price and you're doing the other things. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's okay to have a repeating number if you have the other things in place. And I actually like this too, because especially if you're only working with people who identify as spiritual or identify as a certain kind of way. And I work with spiritual entrepreneurs, and I mean, we could have an entire masterclass on this, but let's just see what's channeling through is like, it's personal, it's deep. And I'm the type of person to like let people have their spiritual practices. Like, I go to Shabbat on Fridays. Like, I'm not Jewish. People are, talking about war. How could you go to Shabbat on Fridays? It's like, my fucking Jewish friends did not start a war. They're here living in Guatemala. Like, the government and spiritual practices are not the same thing. That's why we separated church and state in the US. Like, I'm not a very political person, but like, once I found out that there was something other than politics, I was like, oh, spirituality, that makes a lot more sense. Doesn't mean that I ignore what's happening in the world. But what do I really want to say about this? I think I said it, is like, I go to Shabbat on Fridays. Like, I was raised by wolves and no religion. I have a book about this. My book is called The Monk, the Medicine, and well, it's not named yet, but The Monk, the Medicine, and the Mushrooms, or some shit like, the Toad. And it's about all the drugs I snorted to like, and boofed and like fucking to like fix myself. And so it's like, the things that we do to understand God and to understand the nature of reality, that's a personal thing. And I'm not going to judge anybody for their spiritual practices. What did Bob Marley say? If it's not harming anyone, like, what did Jesus say? Do unto others. And Bob Marley said, like, do whatever you want, just don't hurt people. In one of his songs. And so it's like, if you're a Rastafarian, like, cool. So I'm not here to say like, this is the subsection of spirituality that you can work with me. If you're deep, if life has meaning, if you've been asking the deep questions, why, come on down. And yeah, if you really care, like, if you really care about the nature of reality and nature itself, like that's a whole spirit to me. Like, nature is its own spirit. Like, I channel songs from the mountains. Like, it's all good. There is no right or wrong way with spirituality. And so how does this make sense for you? Okay, so the aligned numbers people in the, 11111 community are going to go, oh yeah, they speak my language. So it's just a language, okay? And math is a language, and it's a true language. So I don't know if that made any sense, but let's move on. Talking about boof and drugs. That's not why we're here. Okay, so 3 ways an offer can be misaligned. Okay, so one way, the way you are delivering your offer could be misaligned. I'm not going to go too deep into delivery because I have masterclasses that you probably already took around this, but let's touch on it here, okay? So who took my quiz, the high value baddie quiz? If you took it, let me know what you got. So I'm a mix of the sought after sage and the community co-creator. So meaning I love giving groups and I love the one-on-one intimacy. So how I deliver my offer is I have a one-on-one upgrade, but I also give one-on-one support in a group setting. And I started to study human design, and this really works based on my design too. And it's deeper than just the types and the authority. It's like lines. I have no tribal lines. So I was very confused of why I live in a spiritual community and I don't like community. And then I had a remembering of I totally bombed an interview in undergrad. Okay, now I went on to grad school, so it turned out well. But in undergrad, I was going to a school. I was going to the state school in Rhode Island, but they were really known for education, and I wanted to be a teacher because I am a teacher. Hello, look at me teaching on teaching on this. But I wanted to be an elementary school teacher, and it was a hard program to get into. So I think I was a sophomore, and we were having rigorous interviews, and they asked me, "What do I feel about community?" And I blanked, pretty much because I grew up poor. Like, I don't know, community to me was like, well, where we all go sell drugs together. Like, what do you mean? What's community? Like, I really wasn't part of any community. Like, my family was separated. So that community was like, weird. I'm like, what? Like, no, I don't get it. But, now looking at my human design, I have no tribal lines. So community, I created this community here, and you'll still see I'm teaching in a way that's good for my design. In my programs, you speak, you get to share your voice, but really I'm here to teach, I'm here to guide, I'm here to mentor and give advice. I'm not here to just let the community teach and coach together, each other. And that was how one of my programs ran, because I didn't know this, and it got way out of hand. People were teaching things that I would never teach. People were coaching each other in ways that I would never coach. I mean, like disrespecting each other, and it was a terrible community place to be. So I'm not supposed to build community maybe in the way that you naturally build community. So those are kind of things that can be misaligned. But like maybe you're a VIP visionary day leader. I'm not. And I started my business on retreats. So I gave a retreat. I hated it. I fucking hated it so much. I hated it. Oh my God, I hated it. We broke even. And like that was unheard of. Why we broke even is I'm great at marketing, but I fucking hated it. And you want to know why? Because like in a retreat, you are not just the teacher. You're also the janitor. You're also somebody's therapist. You're also people, it's big to come to the middle of nowhere and put your trust in a retreat. And like, I couldn't hold it. And I felt bad about myself for a while. It's just not my aligned offer. It takes too much time for me. But maybe you're like, oh, what girl, I love retreats. Great. It's your part of what you're meant to do. You do the retreats. I'll do the high-end coaching programs. There's enough to go around, and your clients are going to like the way that you deliver your program. And I'm going to teach you how to attract your soul-aligned clients. So yes. So I just took this sought after sage. That's so fun. You just took it. Cool. I'm going to get this is also a strategy. Like I got the notification, somebody took your quiz. Like when you have these things that we're going to talk about this later, but a sales journey, it's like people can be going through your work and you can be going wherever you want. So this is how you attract clients without having to like be up their butt about it. And that's what I felt about the retreat, was I was just like, everybody was in my face, I was in everybody's face, and I was like, what? No, like this is not the model of business that's right for me, but it could be for you. So the way that you're delivering your offer could be misaligned. Let me just go over some of these. Like, if you're a sought after sage, that's the one-on-one. So do you offer coaching? And so then the model, then to kind of go deeper. So if you're a sought after sage and you have a one-on-one offer, like, do you offer coaching in between or just the calls? And there is no right or wrong. But if you are doing something that's misaligned, or that you don't want to do, or that you don't know if it's right for you, it's going to be misaligned. There's somebody that I've been colleagues with for years. And I just saw, she was like, I rearranged my one-on-one offer so that I actually liked it. They get no Voxer support. They get no access to me in between the calls. The calls are potent. That's good enough. They go, they implement, they get no in-between support. That just wouldn't work for me. I am obsessed with getting the download for my client, giving them the voice note. I'm obsessed with hearing from my client. I have 2 voice notes that I get to go through. And this isn't my high value offer. Not everybody gets this level of support. I only have 3 spaces in this level of support because it's a lot of work, but it doesn't feel like a lot for me. So this is what I'm talking about an aligned offer. If you're creating your offer based on what somebody else does, and it doesn't feel good in your bones, then it's going to be misaligned. If you don't want to receive a voice note, or say you don't have any agreements on where they're voice noting you, and then you have to check your Facebook messages and check your Instagram messages. It's like, no, I prioritize my clients' questions. So if you're not my client and a message has been sitting in the inbox and you're like, oh, she doesn't pay attention to me, become a client of mine and you can voice note me all the time. But like, I do answer some audience messages, but it is not a high priority because of how deep I'm going with my clients. I have two notifications, and I'm excited about it because I'm excited to offer this level of service. And if it feels valuable to somebody else, that increases the price point. That's where the value is. Somebody getting their questions answered in real time, that's not going to be $100 course. And I don't love my courses where I don't get to see you transform and know if you got the transformation. I don't love it. I like it. I'm not going to say no if somebody wants to just get a course a la carte, like go for it. But like, really the work is like this connection, answering your personal questions. The work is in your personal questions getting answered. It's not found in trying to model your business after somebody else. It's in what we're doing here together. Let's say like community co-creator would be retreats, group coaching programs, masterminds, and a sought after sage could give one-on-one sessions. But if you're not great at marketing and selling, then if you're giving one-off sessions, you have to do more of marketing and selling, or you don't like it. It's like you have to keep talking about this one session, and then you're only getting $100 for it. It's like it can feel like you're spinning your wheels. Okay, cool. So let's leave that there. We can return to it if you have any specific questions about it later, but the positioning of your offer could be misaligned. So this is number 2. So 1 is the delivery, how you're delivering it, the model, like whether it's one-on-one or group or combination. And if it's one-on-one, how much access do they get to you? Do you actually like that level of access, or does it feel like you need to give that level of access? Like, none of my one-on-one coaches gave that level of access. I give it because I want to. I feel good about it. Okay. So the positioning of your offer could be misaligned. So positioning is about the promise of your offer, who your offer is for, and the price. So we'll clear up any pricing misunderstandings in a few moments. But the positioning is the promise of your offer, who your offer is for, and the price. Now, it seems like some of you got that going on. And if you don't got that going on, this is where we start in module 1 of the Conscious Creative Business Immersion. We start with your who, and it could be that you get to elevate your who. If you are getting on the phone with people who are in victim mentality, we get to look at where is our message calling in people who are in victim mentality. And people who are in victim mentality don't often buy anything. They're like, okay, codependent, you fix me and you do it at the cheapest level. Like the universe hates me. I don't want to do this anymore. I can't go on, fix me or I'll die. I mean, that's a bit of an exaggeration, but I was a psychotherapist and I don't want to be, I'm so bored of teaching on victim mentality. Instead of teaching my audience and trying to talk them out of being victims, I don't work with people in that mentality anymore. Of course, there's going to be little different, like slight things. Like I see when I'm in victim mentality. I see it. It happens. It's not that it never happens. I see when I'm in scarcity. So you just get to decide the level, the quality, what does it feel like to work with those people? And we'll up level that in module 1 of the Conscious Creative Business Immersion if you choose to join me in the opportunities that I have for you. And then positioning, I want to go deep on this here. Positioning is about the promise of your offer. Now, when this is misaligned, oh, this feels so terrible. And I just got the first payment for a brand new client who came to me and she had only heard from her past coaches that you got to have a bold promise. I do teach on this. You got to have a bold promise. You got to go out there and say, this is what I'm here to help you with. And it's bold and it's something that you want. And I know I'm good at this. And there's nobody else in the world that's teaching this. And I know that I'm the one to help you. You have to build to that level of confidence because people don't buy from people who are like, oh yeah, there's probably somebody better to, unless you're referring them out to somebody better, which I have done when I'm like, this isn't the right fit, but I do have somebody, this is my client, she'd be a better fit for you. Amazing. She's also cheaper than me. Cool. Like, get it. Like, I'll do that. But like, if you're like, oh yeah, like, yeah, I'm not so good. I'm not so good at helping people. Like, no, come on, you're here. You're like, be confident, like own your brilliance. Like, let's go. And this is a transformation. And I understand that you don't want to overpromise on something that you can't deliver results on. So we work on this extensively because if you are promising something that you yourself have no business either one teaching on or you haven't created that in your own life, it's going to feel wonky. There are some exceptions, and it was with a doula. So Vanessa, I'm glad you're here. Now, I don't know if you have children, but I was working with someone who was a doula, highly trained, really deep, but she didn't have children. Now, whatever, some people could say, oh, you can't be a doula if you don't have children, but that's false. So we focused her message on her clients and what they went through and what results they got and how they felt with her as a doula. And that was really cool. That was really cool for her. Yeah, so there are exceptions, or like, you're a relationship coach, you've been a relationship coach, you're a psychotherapist, you give family therapy, but went through a divorce. That actually gives you more clout, if you want to help divorcees, like that's fine. Then we get to focus on what have you been able to help your clients with? What are your methodologies? But normally, and especially if it's a new offer or you're just getting started, really look at the transformations you've made. The transformations that you've made and the things that light you up to talk about and teach on that you could just teach no problem, that's what you create a course around. That's what you create a masterclass around. That's what you write a book about. Not something, because so often, and I'll give an example. I was in a business mastermind with a woman who was really struggling with money. Every week she came and she got coached around money, which is fine. Like, that's why we're in the masterclass. We brought the coaching program, we brought our money blocks, like that was fine. And even people who teach on money are going to have dips in their income, and that's fine. But this woman was hyper focused on money and she didn't have it, and that was the thing. But her program was all about creating 5-figure months. So that was the thing. And she got so much coaching around this, and I saw it right away. It was like, Well, no wonder. You know, like you're trying to teach people something that you haven't created, and nobody wants to learn. If people want to learn from a book, they can read a book. So if you're reading a book and then teaching what you learned in the book, that's some that's a little wonky. But I also believe that we master something when we teach it. So if you're just coming out of a certification, you must teach some of these things. But why don't you apply it in your own life? You take your program first. Do one round. If it's a 4-week program, do 4 weeks of everything that you're teaching. Do it. Take yourself through the program. You become a walking testimonial, a walking transmission. I really recommend this. You know, or you can present it as like, hey, this is a study group, okay? Or this is another thing. If it's something that you want to study, so what's something that I'm leaning into? So the thing that I need to learn is magnetizing a soulmate partner. Haven't been able to do it, want to, studied it, but haven't done it. So I'm not going to teach you how to get into a marriage if I'm not married, okay? I'm not going to teach you that, but I might, because I'm a natural born teacher, go like, hey, let's study the 5 love languages together. I'm opening up this study group. We're going to read this book together. I'm going to give you resources, and it's a study group. But that's not going to be, you're not going to be able to price that the way that you price like, hey, I'm an expert at this. This is the pathway. This is the methodology. This is how much it is. Let's go. It's worked for this person and this person and this person. If you haven't had clients yet in this offer, it's worked for me and I want to take you through it. So we're going to have a foundational member price. First time I'm offering this program, boom. Then you got your testimonials, you grow your offer from there. So my goal isn't to try to get you to have the best, most like markety, ChatGPT written promise that you don't feel aligned. If you feel resistant to that promise of your offer, you won't be able to sell it. So, yeah, do I want to go into this other example? I'll go quickly. Another example was not with a client, because none of my clients do this, because it's something that I teach on extensively. And it's something that we work on right away so that you're not trying to sell something that you don't feel aligned with, because it just won't work. And I don't want you to do things that don't work, because that leads to burnout. So quickly, because we only got 30 minutes left, we'll probably go over, but I want to get to the pricing journey. Quickly, I was hanging around with somebody who wanted to do men's work and wanted to, teach on like be a relationship coach. And he was misogynistic as fuck. He said terrible things to me, blame shifted. And I was like, what? You coming around me trying to learn business skills? Like, I don't want your business to succeed in the world. Now, this wasn't a client, because I'm not like that with my clients, but I was like, get out of here. But like, you probably see this happening all the time, and you don't want this to be you. You have a reputation, you have a big heart, you want your business to be, you want to be professional. And it's not very professional to just promise something that you yourself haven't created. So it all makes sense. You want to market in integrity. Okay. So I help people with their marketing and market in aligned ways, because I help people first align themselves with their offer, their soul aligned offer. Then you're marketing in integrity. So let me give a shift. Like I can talk about for me, like I don't overpromise, and I didn't overpromise in the beginning. Like I wasn't always a business coach that helped you create 5-figure consistent months until I had done that. Now, this is my 4th year in a row as a 6-figure business owner, basically a solopreneur. I have 1 assistant. Like that's unheard of, like a whole company built with 2 people, and I'm doing most of the work, because I don't overwork, because I only do things that attract clients, and the rest is bells and whistles, and the rest I have my assistant do. But let's see here. Yes. So when I say I can help you create consistent 5-figure months, I can. Like that's what my conscious creative business immersion is about. It's a step-by-step guidance for you to have the offer and the three things we're going to teach on at the end that you get to focus on. You don't just get to focus on them, you learn how to focus on them properly and how to execute on these three things properly, so you feel like you have a business and you feel like it's aligned with your soul and you're just out there living your mission. You're not like fussing over like these, you're not climbing over hurdles trying to sell in ways that suck and that repel your soul aligned clients anyway, but you're doing these things daily and that's it. And then you have a business and you have clients and you love it and you love working with your clients. Like that's really cool. And it hasn't just worked for me, it's worked for my clients. I have an entire testimonials page. And in the beginning, I just said something like, oh, I'm going to help you create a course, because I had created 3 courses. Yeah, they didn't make me 5 figures yet. But like I created those courses and I helped people create a course. Great. That skill led to the next skill, led to the next skill, but I did not start promising the coveted 10K month until I had made them and I know exactly how to make them. And whenever my income dips lower, I know how to bring it back up. And I just wonder I just wonder if my offer's aligned and we bring it back up, right? Okay, so let's see. Any questions on this? Packaging, positioning. Okay, I've talked about what I did. Okay, so I also wanted you to know that I barely take calls on Mondays and Fridays. I have over this last few months, and that's what was feeling misaligned. So I'm right there with you of like, okay, if you just saw my series on the 3 boundaries and the 4 myths of pricing and the 3 boundaries of going high value, like I'm writing from experience. It's like, I'm right there with you going like, what has changed? Why do I feel on the edge of burnout? Oh, I'm taking calls on Mondays and Fridays to accommodate my clients, and I don't need to. Like I don't take calls on Mondays and Fridays for them, for them. There's a reason I don't. And so everybody was able to figure it out, and now I have 4 days off. So I teach you systems that are going to give you 4 days off a week. So you won't need a business that you need a vacation from or you need a break from because you're burnt out. If you need a break from your business, your offer isn't aligned. That's it. The way that you're offering it or the way that you're offering isn't aligned. The other things we're going to focus on later. So, but I wanted you to know I built this over time. Okay, so you may get to put in more work now, but now that my offer is created, I know how to market it. It's like clockwork. I just level it, realign it, rejudge it, put out a new offer faster because I don't have these questions that you have, right? Like we figure it out in the conscious creative business immersion, then you run and you repeat these things and you come back to them. They're foundational business skills that you return to again and again. They're timeless, and that's it. You just get to repeat your success. It's not a one-time flash in the pan, how did I do this? It's like, oh, this worked last time. Okay, let's do more of what works. And that more of what works is what feels good in your body too. Not things that worked because you feared someone into buying, like things that worked because it worked well in your body, but it worked to attract the clients. Okay, so I want you to also know that I do not promise a timeline in my offer. I don't say you're going to get 6 figures in 6 days, because I want you to know that there are no unreasonable goals, only unreasonable timelines. So I do have a goal, a future goal of a 6-figure month, but I'm not rushed to get there. I'm not trying to get there. I'm not trying to do crazy things to make this money goal happen. I just know that I'm destined to have a $100,000 launch. I desired it, so I'm designed for it. And so for you, if you want 6 figures, or you want 5 figures, or you want 5 clients, or you want whatever you want, I'm not going to say you're going to get it in 3 months, but you are going to be equipped with everything that you need to be able to create that in your own timeline, depending on so many factors, right? So I don't tell you what your divine timeline is. And this is just coming through. Like I had a couple of clients that, I let them know, hey, you need at least 3 hours a week to do this project, to build a business. And that's minimum. That is the absolute minimum. And during those 3 hours, and if you only have 3 hours, what are you doing in those 3 hours? That makes the difference. So if you're a mom or a dad, or you have another job and you like to scroll and you like Kaka TV and you have a social life, if you only have 3 hours and you're not willing to sacrifice anything, what are you doing in those 3 hours? Because you can build this business, but if you're going like, oh, I don't have even 1 hour, then you have a discipline problem and you're not willing to sacrifice something, and that's not going to work. So we're just not about that life over here, because no one's coming back after 3 months and being like, where's my 6 figures? Like, and they didn't even take 3 hours a week to do the work. Come on. So like, if you've ever had a client like that, then it can be like, oh, I need to under promise. No, you need to attract better clients. So you don't need to under promise. You need to attract clients that are action takers, that want to learn, what you have to teach, and have the problem that your program can help solve. Okay, so then the third is the price. So I'm not here to price or offer for you, but if you charge too high, you will struggle with thoughts of whether the program is worth that price or whether your audience will pay that price. And if you charge too low, eventually you will struggle to pay the bills. Your business also has bills. And so you don't want that, okay? Your business also has bills, and so you don't want that, right? Like, we're not even talking about you paying your own bills. We're talking about paying the business bills. If you charge too high, you'll struggle with thoughts of whether the program is worth that price or whether your audience will pay that price. And if you charge too low, eventually you'll struggle to pay the bills. So we're gonna find your soul line price that is not too high, that is not too low. It's not side chick energy, it's main event energy, and it's like Goldilocks. It's like Goldilocks in this bitch. It's like brown Goldilocks. Like, it's not too hot, it's not too cold. It's the price that your soul wants to be charging, and it may feel too high for you because you may start to have those thoughts. Oh, who's going to pay this? But if you look around, there are people buying programs all the time that are way more expensive than your program. I'm one of those people, and I grew up poor. So like, when people are like, oh, nobody's gonna buy this, $1,000 program, I'm like, I bought a $10,000 one. I didn't have the money. Like, there are people that do this all the time. You're just not saying words that are talking to those people. You're saying words that are talking to people that don't buy. So we're gonna clean that up. We're gonna clean that up. I'm gonna show you how to clean that up. Okay, so let's get into this pricing. Fun, amazing, great. Soul partner manifestation for coaching. Didn't light me up. Okay, so let us go on this journey. This is a fun journey. It's all for fun. Your business gets to feel fun. If it's not fun, what's the frickin' point? Not everything in your business will be fun, but overall, I want you to do things that feel good for you, that are fun. And if some of the things don't feel fun, that's just because you've never done it before, and things that are new are sometimes uncomfortable. But once you are attracting clients, it'll be fun. So if you feel comfortable, you can close your eyes. If you want to keep them open, maybe soften your gaze. If you're driving or doing lifting heavy machinery, obviously don't close your eyes. But you can come back to this journey in another time. Okay, so imagine that your offer is aligned. It's months from now or even years from now. And your signature offer, the offer that you love offering, the offer that has helped so many people already, you are relaunching it. You're excited. You know exactly how to launch it. You know exactly how to attract clients. And you're on a discovery call with one of your applicants. This human has read your content, has read your sales page, has applied to work with you, and you're just on the call because that's your process. They've asked the best questions. You've answered some of these questions. They've said yes. You ask at the end, towards the end of the call, so what is it? Is it a yes? Would you like to join? And they say, yes, I'd love to join and I'd love to pay in full. I'd love to join and I'd love to pay in full. Send me the contract, send me the invoice. I'm so excited. Amazing, you say. You send them your love, you close the Zoom room, and you do your frickin' happy dance. You're flying up and down the hallways of your house, singing the song that you always sing when you get a new client. It doesn't matter how many times you've sold at this price point. You are so excited and soul aligned to receive this price for this offer. So then you whip up your invoice. So you sit back down after you've called your friends, called your partner, told them you got another client, celebrated with your coach, and you sit back down to whip up the invoice. So you open your invoicing system and you start to type in the pay in full amount and this person's email. So now we're going to slow down here. I want you to look at this invoice and allow the number to form, to take shape. It might be moving, it might be gradually showing up, or it might be very prominent and loud what this number is. But allow it to reveal itself. The pay in full price of your most aligned offer, the most aligned delivery, to the client that needed no convincing. I'm going to spend just a few moments in silence and you just let that number appear. And let's just take this a little bit deeper. You press send on the email, swoosh. She was waiting, ready, with her credit card in hand, or he, and they've paid it. Pay in full. Oh my goodness. The money has come to your bank account, sitting there in your Stripe account, wherever the money comes, in your PayPal account, it's there. Boom. Wow. You know you deserve it. You're so excited for this journey you're about to take with your client. And you get to work. Okay. Now, when you're ready, you can come back into the space. You can put your hands on your cheeks. You can rub your palms together and cover your eyes with the warmth of your palms. You can open your eyes into your palms if you'd like. Start to come back into the room. Ground yourself with whatever spiritual grounding practices you have. Feet on the earth. Wow. So this is your soul aligned price. We're going to get into thoughts about it, but before you have a thought, before you say how I'm going to pull this off, how long is the offer, all these thoughts that are valid, just write the number that you saw and type it here so I can see. And then notice if it was different from your thought price. 2K. Love it. 3K, 8K. Different, yep. $9.99. Love it. That's cool. Amazing. 888 85555. All I could feel was a 7 instead of a 5. At least it's raised. That's amazing. And yeah, 5 could be. I love that. I love that. It's raised. 12K for a future offer. 444. Cool. Love it. And it's not an only this. So this is okay. So let's now go into what this process is. This is what your soul is desiring to charge. And your soul doesn't make mistakes. This doesn't mean it's your final price. You could actually, we could do this practice, say a year from now, and your soul's ready to charge more. But your soul's going to give you what you can handle now. Okay. And sometimes, like I've done this recently, and it was a lower price. And I was like, fuck that. Because I teach on raising your prices. I help people charge over 1,000 when, they've only charged 100. I teach on all these things. And also how lower the price. I'll give savings, but I teach on how you don't have to discount your offers. But this is not discounting my offer. This was you have another offer inside of you for soul aligned clients that don't want your high-end mentorship. And are you going to leave them hanging just because it's a lower price? Or are you going to develop an offer that has the boundaries that match that price point? Obviously, if someone joins me at the 2K level, they're not going to get the same as someone who joins me at the 8K level, not going to get the same as someone who joins me at the 14K level. All of those price points I have savings for, but it's just a different level of service. But my soul was ready to actually have a mid-ticket offer. But I cannot do something that isn't high value. So a mid-ticket offer, but set it up in a high value way. And a high value offer for me has a level, the higher the value, the more the intimacy. So the value is in the intimacy. And your time is very valuable. So if you are giving people private time in between your calls and private coaching calls, then that is more valuable because they don't have to wait in line. They don't have to do self-study work. It's more valuable. But self-study and self-initiates, I am that person. What I have found is it's just a different person. I have a client who does not want to look at a worksheet. She would rather die than look at a worksheet. She's like, I'm not looking at these worksheets. And nothing against it. She's like, I'm not doing these worksheets. I have another client at the same level that printed the worksheets out and is doing them. They're no better or worse. But if you don't want to do the worksheets, then you better hire me at the private level. If you don't want to do the homework, if you're not a self-initiate and you want real coaching in real time, you're not going to get that in a self-paced course. You want your personal questions answered, it's a different level. So how does this relate to you? You can take this price point and you can develop the offer that is aligned, knowing that you can raise your price whenever you want. And a lot of people go, they create an offer with the price point in mind. So they try to make it low cost and have no value in it. But what you can do instead is say if you saw 444, but you have, so 444 from a fair, but you have this 3-month immersive school, spiritual mystery school in mind. Now, I don't know if you have this in mind, but say any of you have this in mind. That's a lot of work and a lot of value for $400. It's not, people don't even expect that, right? If you're selling too low, you will repel clients because high paying clients don't see value in a $97 thing presented as a life-changing thing. It's like, what? What's wrong with this? What's wrong with this person? Why don't they value themselves? Like, that's what I think. So, and I'm a high paying client. I've invested over $100,000 in my business development, just in masterminds and mentorships alone. Um, it's just who I am. And you don't have to. I did that so that you don't have to. I take what I've learned and I simplify it and I put it into our language so that you don't have to hire bro marketing coaches that charge 10K because they, think that they can. They just think that they can, but they don't actually speak your language. I wanted to learn the language of marketing so I could distill it through my spiritual lens and pass it on to the people who need it the most at a price point that they can afford, right? Most people that teach at the level that I teach at, $20,000 masterclasses, $50,000 VIP offers. Like, when you look at it that way, I am very, very accessible and you can 100% afford. You can't not afford to hire a guide when you don't know how to do the things that you want to do. That's just it. Like, if you read a book, that's the level that you're at. Good, at least you're reading the book. But if you can't get your personal questions answered from a book. So let's go. A dream, but that's yours. So it was Brittany's. It was Brittany's, right? And 2K is it's a lovely price point for a whole school. So, okay, yes, thank you for bringing me back. So say you saw 444, but you're developing this amazing, like, wild offering. Well, what you do first is you take 3 clients on at 444 with permission to, like, it's 3 clients and I'm raising my price. And whether you raise it $100 or you double it, that's up to you. I raised my price incrementally and I doubled it. But, like, my price wasn't what it is from the get-go. And I wish I had charged more from the start, but it wasn't my path. So pricing is a journey. This is a pricing strategy on a journey. You can always take yourself through that lesson again and that journey to see if anything's changed, right? So now let's get into, okay, I have the price, but, like, just having a price alone doesn't, like, mean that you'll get clients, right? Pricing isn't what sells, right? Pricing can repel. If you want to work with somebody who prints the freaking worksheets out, who, like, does the soul work, who gets the result, those are people that know that they want to invest in themselves. Those are people already looking for a guide. Those are people already looking to create an extraordinary thing. And extraordinary things don't happen alone. We are all here to grow, and we usually don't grow alone. I just recently hired a new teacher and she wasn't $50,000, but I'm like, okay, I want a new level. I want an up level. I've been doing this alone now for a little while. I was in between coaches, found my new teacher / coach, way different level of service. It's a lower level of service, but I'm in the place now where I just give me the lessons. I do the work on my own, and I do. But I have heard from so many people, I need the accountability. I need to know what to work on. And, like, you checking my soul work and knowing that you're there to give me guidance of what is the next step helps. And it's the same for you. That simple enough is, like, what a lot of people need. Plus then the teaching, the guidance, the tools. Okay, so let's see. Let's get into the 3 things to focus on to attract clients at that price point. Now, I know that supposedly we are closing in 5 minutes. If you have to pop off, totally respect that. This is your world. I'm just teaching in it. Come back and watch the replay because we're really getting into the juice of it. I will stay on till the top of the hour, and I'm very happy to, but we are getting into a really pivotal piece, okay? So the 3 things to focus on, and then I want to answer your questions that you've been asking and anything personal. So if a business coach or any marketing guru is telling you you won't be able to sell without fancy software, it's a lie. If someone online is telling you you won't attract clients without a big team, it's a lie. Without ads, lie. If somebody's telling you you can't attract clients if you don't have this one system that only they teach, it's a lie. And I'm not here to lie to you. The truth is, you only need 3 things as a foundation, and all that other stuff is a bonus. I do ads now, why not? But I didn't start with ads. Actually, I did start with ads, and I basically lit money on fire. So don't start with ads unless you have these 3 things dialed in. Okay. So I'll tell you them and then we'll get into each of them. So 1, an aligned offer that is packaged for joy to work with clients only, and pricing is packaging. 2, a marketing message that expresses, ooh, balloons, a marketing message that expresses the real value of working with you. 3, a sales journey that leads people to the next step with you. So either a masterclass, a freebie, or onto a discovery call. The next step can be a discovery call, but if you don't have a next step, if you don't have a journey and you're just selling online, this is the problem. Most people aren't buying just from social media. They are buying from their email, or they're buying from something more intimate like a masterclass or a freebie. So we get into that. We'll get into that. Okay. So let's go back to 1, an aligned offer that is packaged for joy to work with clients only. Aligned offer. So the model, we talked about that, the price, you have that now, and then the packaging. So the packaging is like the name, the subtitle. Subtitle is also called the promise of your offer, and some value statements like the page, your sales page. Playing at the level you want to play at, you might want a sales page. But it's not the thing that sells. You are the sales page. You can get on a discovery call and talk about your offer, tell people about it. Then you take the place of a sales page. Many of you probably have not seen my sales page for the offer that is the opportunity at the end of this call, but you'll get there eventually. I help you create that sales page. I help you with this packaging, because if you're moving to another level, you probably want a sales page. And so many people are teaching, oh, you don't need a sales page, but you want one. You want to be in this world. You want a website, you want a sales page. And so there's not many people out there that are teaching what I'm teaching and co-create that sales page with you. So the packaging is the model, the price, like what it really is for sale, and the value of it. And this is nuanced, okay? Your value statements are not, okay, you get 4 calls, because that's not what the value is. The length is not the value. The amount of time is not the value. More access to you could lead to more value, but certain creators like Tony Robbins will have a $50,000 day with him. And the only thing that separates you from these people that are charging that much is your mindset and the aligned offer. If you had confidence that this offer was going to give somebody $50,000 worth of value, then you would charge $50,000. Why wouldn't you? I bought a $50,000 offer and I made 100. I'm still making money from what I learned in that offer. So it's not about the money, but say you help people, we have some womb healers here, you help people, what the things that can happen when you heal your womb is okay, you've had fertility problems for 10 years and you do this spiritual work to heal your womb and you finally get pregnant. What? The value in that, people wanting a baby is way worth, it's worth more than money. Babies are worth more than money. They cost a lot of money too. But what's another one? Okay, even in the same realm, oh, there's a fly. That was where that blur came from. Get out of here, fly. So even in the womb work, it's somebody has PCOS, PCOS. Now don't use these acronyms. Talk about what that looks like. But somebody has pain in their womb space, they can't figure it out. They've been to all these doctors, and it's, they've been to all these doctors, they've done traditional care, and this energy keeps coming back around. They get to have both. They get to have doctor care and professional, whatever, medical care, and they get to have this womb healing, and boom, pain is lightened. They learn to live with the pain, or they learn to calm their nervous system so that pain is, they learn to relax their womb space so that, their creative life turns back on, like including creating a child. Like you can actually, in the Conscious Creative Business Immersion, I help you to really get yourself behind a promise and a value and a subtitle and value statements that make sense. When we say heal your womb, like someone said to me once, oh, I'm going to heal your womb. And I never hired her. Bitch, you're not healing my womb. Get out of here. Teach me how to work with my womb or heal my womb space so that I can do things that I want to do in life. So if you don't have these things created, the packaging of your offer, and you want to try on your own, this is a process, right? This is a process. This is why I created the Conscious Creative Business Immersion. This is what we focus on the first 2 months. And then the third month, we focus on sales journey, which I'm going to get to in a moment. So the second thing that you get to focus on is a marketing message that expresses the real value of working with you. So a message is nuanced. It's not your I help statement on your bio. If you're like, oh, I changed my I help statement and called myself a purpose doula, but people aren't coming to me, hiring me, it's because nobody knows what that means. But your message will help them understand what this funky thing is that you do. Your message will help. It warms people up. People think that if you just show up and tell someone about your offer, they will buy, but your message is what warms people up. Your message is nuanced. I have a whole course around this, so I can't get too deep into it right now. But if you think you're sharing content now that's pretty good, or if you're attracting some clients now and it's like, oh, cool. Imagine if you came into the Conscious Creative Business Immersion, get out of here, fly. You came into the Conscious Creative Business Immersion and you really understood messaging, you would be able to sell anything forever and always because your message is the magnetizer. Your message is the thing that speaks life into people. Like when you know how to message correctly, you attract aligned clients consistently. That's how you know you're doing it right. Now, I have methods. I have my 6C framework for writing social posts that sell. I have 9 different content pieces that you can cycle through for the legacy content tracker. And if you implement this, and in my high value program, like the Conscious Creative Business Immersion, I check your work and I offer you upgrades. So I check your page, offer you upgrades. I teach you how to create the thing. I check it, offer you upgrades. Then it goes out the best possible conditions for you. So there's no more guessing. There's no guessing like, how do I attract clients? This is how you attract clients. You have an offer that's aligned. You have a message that is clear. And so the mistake that I see, especially spiritual entrepreneurs make, is they're like, saying all these words that don't make sense to people. And it's such a bummer. And I get it. I'm spiritual. I sat with a Vedantic monk and learned about karma yoga. I speak Sanskrit, kind of. Like these are words that are not useful. So how do I usually describe this? Okay, I go to a class and I tell them Paschimottanasana. I don't show them what the pose is. I don't tell them the benefits. I just say Paschimottanasana and I let them figure it the fuck out. That's not good. That's not helping anybody. No, that's what most people are doing when they just say words that don't make sense. So if you're saying a word that doesn't make sense, like you're a purpose doula or you're an abundance coach, doesn't make sense. Your message and your posts make it make sense. Nobody knows if 20 different people have 20 different versions of what a love philanthropist is, then that's 20 people you've just confused. And confused people don't buy. So if you say, I help you go from no boyfriend to boyfriend, or I help you go from no boyfriend to knowing exactly how to upgrade your Tinder profile, maybe not Tinder, Hinge profile to attract committed dates only and how to turn those dates into a soulmate partnership, I'll buy that offer. Buy that offer right now. But if you say, oh, I'm an abundance witch, I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck. And I love abundance. I'm an abundance witch. But you will never hear me say that on the internet. Now, if your people know, like, if your people are witches, like I have worked with legitimate witches. My current coach now is a magician and a witch. I worked with Carolyn Elliott, the um, writer of Existential Kink, who is a legitimate witch teaching legitimate magic. Magic is magic is just spending more time on something than anyone reasonably expects. So I am a messaging magician. I spent a lot of money and time learning messaging. I spent a lot of money and time learning how to speak to soul aligned clients. I spend my time sharing content, creating content, but content that works. You want to master something, you spend more time on it than anyone else reasonably expects. And that is magic. And I learned this from real magicians. So it's not that, like, if you call yourself a witch, you work with other witches who identify as witches, or you spend time in your message. The 3 ways to know if you're a witch. Boom. Then you're creating content that works. But in that messaging, 3 ways to know if you're a witch, and you give the ebook, and in that book, then it's like, like a witch that doesn't know how to make potions isn't a witch at all. So then your program is you'll walk away learning the 3 potions for X, Y, and Z, for love, money, and whatever else. Like, these are just things that I'm coming up with on the fly, and they're not even my offers, because I've spent so much time mastering how to teach messaging and what a message actually is. Okay, if you want to call yourself something cuckoo nuts, then just know that you get to spend time outlining it for people. How this worked for me was, in the beginning, I'm like, oh, the Leela project, because I'm a yogi and I studied what Leela means. Leela is divine play in Sanskrit. I spent more time trying to convince people that we were in a divine play and that Leela was real than I spent any time working with people. But if I were to say, okay, if I were to teach, like, sure, and I still teach these concepts, I teach from these concepts. But if you help people with stuff that they actually want help with, you're going to have clients. So if you don't know what your people want help with, then you haven't talked to enough people. So to get a messaging, just to start, whether you join the Conscious Creative Business Immersion or not, I want you to leave here knowing that the next month, talk to as many people, not people, aligned clients, people you would love to work with, ask them what they want to create in their life. What are their problems and obstacles to create that? What have they tried? What do they really, really want? And then listen to it in their own words, because you will hear that nobody says, I want abundance. Nobody says that. Like, I want more clients. I want more money. Nobody says I want abundance. Abundance is everywhere. You can't want something that exists everywhere. So they might say, like, they might know that they have a problem. So listen to how they're describing their problem in their words. Because then you want to create something for them, and you want to repeat their words back to them. Okay, fly. All right. And listen, I'll give an example right now. It is fly season, and I wanted to kill all these flies. I wanted to have a house where I could leave my windows open, because otherwise I'd be closed in here, and I wanted these flies to go away. So I started buying all this lemon stuff, and I wanted it to be non-toxic. Lemon, cinnamon, like, I was really looking, how do I get rid of these flies? If you can find the problem that your person is experiencing right now that they are Googling, whole other level for you. And nobody's Googling, not nobody, but there are ways. Go, like, ask, Google, start Googling, and Google gives you what people are Googling. Like, start asking questions like, when I couldn't, I bought things. Like I went out there and became a customer of everything that was fly repellent related. Okay. So, amazing. Okay, the third thing is a sales journey that leads people to the next step with you. This is either a masterclass, a freebie, or it can be a discovery call. You don't have to be very tech heavy with a discovery call. It could be just, okay, on the link in my bio is a calendar link. All my content is like, here's the next step. Here's the next step. Here's the next step. Get on a call, see if we're a right fit to work together. But you talk about what your offer is in the message, right? And now I know that this is easier said than done. This is why I have a 3-month coaching program around this, because if you could just create these from this masterclass, all of these moving parts that you need to attract clients and you need to be in tune with to attract clients. These aren't wants or fancy like, oh, I want an ads specialist. Like these are needs. If you don't have an offer, you don't have a business. If you don't have a message, you can't attract clients. And if you don't have a sales journey, then yeah, like if you don't have a sales journey, then like you ask yourself why. Like, are you resistant to sales? Ask yourself why. So let's talk about the Conscious Creative Business Immersion. I am finally accepting applications after a 5-month break. This offer I've delivered 9 times and the results speak for themselves. My client Allison came to me, very limited online presence, a deep desire to finally be in business, and she had no offer. She joined the immersion not once, but twice, and not because she didn't get results the first time, but because she wanted to double her results. So she joined twice. The first time she crafted the offer and did a soft launch, attracted a few clients kind of secretly. She didn't want to do a big launch. And then she went all in and had a 5-figure launch, her second launch. She is cruising on social media now when she really didn't like social media before. She came to me, she's like, I hate Instagram. And I'm like, well, let's figure this out. We can either do another platform or we can understand why you hate Instagram and like uncover what that is and work through it. Now she uses Instagram like a champ. She doesn't have a big following. She makes 5-figure months. You don't need a big audience. You don't need ads. You just need one offer, a message, and a sales journey. So yes, she has said the Conscious Creative Business Immersion was the catalyst that put her in business, said, I am here, I know how to run a business. Now she has multiple offers, an offer suite, she's out there selling, she's calling it her overnight success. But I was with her for a whole year watching her put the things in place that she needed to now be an overnight success, right? So she's doing amazing. Tiffany, different kind of client, was doing amazing things, living a life people can only dream of already. She had moved to Hawaii with her 3 kids. She had big, amazing goals. She had a corporate job. She was already making 6 figures at her corporate job, but she wanted to replace her income, and she wasn't going to leave her job until she replaced her income. She learned how to launch. We refined her offer to be more clear and irresistible to higher paying clients. She tripled her price and had a $36,000 launch. And now she's like on the news in Hawaii. And we had life-changing moments on these calls. She didn't realize that she could send her people an email every day. She's a generator, so she's designed for more. You might be a projector and you don't have to do it more. Less is more, but she's designed for more. I'm also a generator. You're going to receive emails often from me, but you're going to like that. You're going to like that. You might not like that from a projector, but you're going to like it from a generator. So, like that's the design. So she didn't know. She thought she'd be bothering people, but she didn't. She wasn't. People loved reading her emails because I also taught her how to write emails that were valuable, that were highly valuable. So people enjoyed opening her emails, saw her offers, wanted, she launched in an appropriate way through learning how to launch in my Love to Launch formula. I guided her through that step by step. And now she's like, whoa, now she's like creating wild, amazing things. So it's not that you'll just put out an offer and this is your one offer for the rest of your life. Now she's on the news. She has like this Wild Mama Voices like event, and she's showing that online, but it's like, it's a different offer. It's an in-person offer. So that's really cool. So she's really happy. So I'm going to answer your personal questions now, but I just wanted to also show you and model to you that when you love your offer and it gets results for people, like you just can't not share it. So I want to give you the opportunity. We're having our first call in May, the opening ceremony in May. So you have time to ask me questions. You have time to apply. It's an application only program, and you have time to apply, ask your questions. I truly want you to know if this offer is the right fit for you. So it's an $8,000 offer, but if you join in the next 2 weeks, you get $2,000 off and a week-long intensive with me. So you'll get those voice notes, me in your corner for an entire week, which is only available at the mentorship level. So it becomes a $6,000 offer plus extra coaching if you join in the next 2 weeks. So apply, don't wait. There's no pressure to join. If you apply, if we find out we're not a right fit to work together, then you just hire someone else. So yes, so the thing I want to say about that is, if genuinely you're like, even with the payment plan, I can't make it happen. Even with an extended payment plan, I can't make it happen, because I will extend the payment plans for this. So you just let me know. But even after all that, say you're in between jobs or whatever it is, and you can't afford it, do not let that stop you. Now this, I'm not speaking to the person who has 6K in savings or even the first payment in savings. I'm not speaking to that person. I'm talking about if you really don't have it and you can't get it. I'm also not, so many people have gotten the money because they're like, wow, if I can spend 6K now and make more than 6K every month for the rest of my life, like who wouldn't do that? And if you don't have to spend 100K like I did, it's like, how I teach is better. Like I'm looking at the courses that my coaches put out, and I'm like, I'm better. Like I'm fucking better than this, but I don't want to charge more. I want it to be accessible for you. Okay. So, but if 6K isn't accessible, I have a 2K offer, and there's crazy payment plans for that. So if you cannot afford $200 a month, I really want to say this, and I've never said something so bold in my life, but I'm saying it a lot because I want you to really know. I want you to get the God's honest truth. If you don't have $200 a month in disposable income, you don't need a coach, you need a job. You need a better job. And I know that some of you might be in a country where, even, like if I was working with people in the country that I live in, a Mayan community, no, of course they don't have an extra $200 disposable income. If that's the case for you, let's talk. I might have something for you. However, like if you can create $200 in disposable income a month. If you can't, you need a job. And here's why. You cannot create a mission-driven, creatively resourced business if you're in financial distress. You can, I did, because I'm an absolute crazy person and I had anxiety all the time, but anxiety drove me. There was no fucking way in hell that I was not gonna go a month without paying my coach. I would have rather died. I would have rather lived in a tent. I would have been so embarrassed. So that was my thing. And because of that, I did everything on that my coach suggested. I went above and beyond, and I had a $38,000 launch after paying $9,000 for my coach when I didn't have it. I'm a crazy person, and I didn't have the means to create it. Like I could get a virtual job. I can look on sugardaddy.com, like whatever, but I live in Central America. So if I get a job here, then I'm paid way less than minimum wage. So, and I don't want that. I'm not trying to take, somebody's job here. Like, no. So I'm trying to make American money and then circulate it into the developing country. That's what I do. I tip these ladies well. There's ladies here now that are cleaning the house. Like I like that's what I do. And I feel good about that. And I donate to the causes that I feel good about, but I'm not here to masturbate my donate fucking muscle. Like everybody who does that is like, oh, I donate the most. It's like, yeah, right. I don't donate to prove to you that I'm a good person. I donate because I want to, okay? And if you're not able to donate and you want to, get yourself financially to a place where you can. That's all I can say about that. How? The three things that I talked about today, right? And how do you do that in a professional way? How do you do that in less time? Hire me in the Conscious Creative Business Immersion. If you don't have that, if you really, really can't, go to the school. But the school is $2,000 and it's self-paced. You get a question answered a week, right? So let's get into these questions, because getting your personal questions answered, it's a game changer. So I'm going to scroll up. Joanna says, my question, how to get more clients? So I think I answered that. I don't have a client every month. I answered that. If you don't have clients, you have a messaging problem. If you don't have clients, you have a messaging problem. So I would love to teach you my principles of messaging. That course you can get a la carte. That's, I think, $300 course. But if you join the school, then you take that course plus all my other courses, and I'm your guidance counselor. I tell you what you need first. So you need the messaging school first if you don't have clients right now, but you have an offer. And you understand messaging, you understand how to invite people in the offer, you move on to the sales course and check back in when you're done with the course, ask your questions weekly. That's how the school runs. But like why I'm really stoked about the mastermind is we're together. I'm giving creative reviews weekly, more than one. Like you're getting energetic alignment, frequency codes. There's so much in the mastermind. Like if you don't know which one is right for you, like I have a quiz for that as well. So that's how you attract clients. There's no other way to attract clients. You know, you cannot pray your business into existence. I do have lessons on creating client altars, on getting your energy right. So you will get an energy upgrade. But the best energy in the world cannot fight against a message that doesn't make sense and an offer that isn't aligned, right? Even your sales journey comes after those two things. So I love that question. We had one from Nicole first. Okay, how to price a 4-week upcoming program when you are just getting started with courses. So you found your soul aligned price. So now I want to ask, does that soul aligned price, like what are your thoughts about that price? Because it could be the price, or you could offer a foundational member price knowing that that's the price next round. There is no right or wrong. And if you're just getting started, you want to give a good price in the beginning to gain those testimonials so you can talk about your offer in ways that make sense. Because if you taking yourself through the program and you are your best testimonial, start there. That's how you say, I've done this, I've done that, I tried this, it didn't work. Here's what I did to get this result, to get this transformation. Let's go. I want to take you through the thing. But once you're able to show testimonials, it's all over for that. I have a page of testimonials. If you don't believe me and my, like what I've been able to create financially, that's all right. Just look at the interviews of my clients saying, this is what I was able to do. Mothers of 3, a single mother of 3. So when someone says, I don't have time, and this lady, single mother of 3 in a full-time corporate position, replaced her income. When someone says I don't have fucking time, I say fuck you to that. Create it. If Tiffany can create it with teenagers, a kid under 3, come on, you have time. You're just not doing the right things during your off time, or you're addicted to scrolling like I am, which I'm not going to shame myself because I don't have kids. And sometimes I need caca neutral TV time to just like not, you know, be in self-development all the time or be coaching all the time. And I need caca poopy TV. And then after that, I get a download on something. But like, if you don't have time and you're scrolling, you don't need to scroll to have a business on social media. You don't need to use social media in ways that don't feel good to you to have a business on social media. I have an entire course called bringing the soul back into social media. My resonance course, it teaches you how to be the creator on that course. And like you can, like I'm always chatting with people in the DMs on social media, but I also scroll. I just like, I'm like, dang, I gotta set a timer because I will be there all day. So it's okay. Like, do what you gotta do, but everybody is self-responsible around here. Okay, so let's see. Did I miss any questions? I'm gonna keep going. Keep asking your questions in the chat. I'm like, you just see my nose. That must look funny. Brittany took her son to preschool. No worries. Okay, Vanessa, did you have a question? Build the alignment with my joyful pricing visualization. Thank you for calling that. I'm also going to use that, your joyful price, because you felt joy. You were like running through the hallways, like, I got it, my soul on price. And that's how easy it is. When your pricing is aligned, your offer is aligned, and your messaging is aligned, people come to your sales calls going, oh, sign me up. Sign me up. Like I just got on the phone with you to like, I don't know, because you asked me to. Okay, so we're at close. If you have no questions, we're at time. I'm gonna stay on and answer a few questions for the replay. I might, chop this video up and put it as the Q&A only, and so you can get the Q&A. So I'm gonna continue to answer questions. I'm gonna answer some questions that I've gotten. And if you're no longer on the call, that's okay. This is for the people watching the replay, and I'm also gonna chop this masterclass up and have just a Q&A. So a question that I get often is, if I haven't attracted the kind of client that I want to attract, but I know that there's a next level client that I'm meant to work with, somebody maybe that's not in victim mentality, somebody maybe that's not disempowered, who's empowered already, somebody who hires coaches all the time and is already looking for a coach. How do I attract that person, even if I've never attracted that person before? So this is your messaging. And you can attract anyone you want with your words. Your words are the only thing attracting people. It's the only thing attracting people. Your words and your energy, but your words come from your energy. And if you just have good energy, but you're not talking about your offer, then you'll have less clients because people don't know that you have an offer. They might know you have good energy, but they don't know that you have an offer or that it can benefit them. So your words are your message. Words that sell are not words that ChatGPT wrote for you. Although ChatGPT can be like your little assistant. Give me 5 problems that my ideal client has. This is my ideal client. You write down the blurb of who your next level client is, and you ask. You ask ChatGPT what's the problem of this client, and he's going to give you some generic answer. But oh my God, doesn't he just sound so generic? Doesn't everybody using ChatGPT sound the same way? Oh, a transformative deep dive experience. I know you didn't come up with those words on your own, because that's what ChatGPT says every time. So it's like, it's okay if you don't mind sounding like everybody else, but if you want to attract clients that are like, oh my God, you're speaking my language, then speak your language. Say the things that you say. Say the things that you say in a bar after a couple drinks. Say the dang thing. Say what you want to say. Tell somebody that if they can't afford $200 a month, then they need a job. They're here trying to solve the wrong problem, because business is not an overnight thing, right? So yeah, so what, a question I get is like, what if I am in financial distress? No, I'm not the coach for you at this time, because no, I get paid for my work, and that's the end of it. Like, it's not a try it before you buy it kind of situation. Like, there's no refunds on my self-paced courses, and that's just how it is. You got to do the work to get results. So what kind of person am I? And that might be a question that you have, like, do I offer money back guarantees? Like, do I offer, this kind of thing? No. In a high value offer, no, because you are going to show Beyonce the shit out of this. You're going to show up, okay? And this is the analogy that I use. Say that you had tickets to a Beyonce show, okay? And you went to the show and you didn't like it. Or you decided not to dance. You had a bad day the day before, or you just quit liking music for some reason. You didn't want to become a coach, you quit liking music, whatever. Beyonce still showed up and showed off, and you learned something. You learned maybe you don't like concerts. And I've learned that a lot. I'm a musician, so when I tell people I don't listen to music, they go nuts. They think it's the weirdest thing. I don't. I listen to podcasts. I like to learn. They think I'm so weird. I am. I'm neurospicy. I'm absolute lunatic. Like, no, I don't listen to music. Well, I would rather just sing. So, and I don't like concerts because I don't like crowds. And people are like, and I just kept putting myself in groups and crowds and travel things. So it's like, your people are going to like the way that you deliver it. If you're a little bit ballsy and you say things that are a little bit direct, like me, your people are going to love it. They're going to need a little spanking once in a while. People have come to me and like, oh, I just need a little bit like more accountability. I need like a little bit more tough love. And I'm like, okay, like I'm really not that tough, but I don't tolerate people not living their dreams because they are not creating time to live their dreams or to learn a new thing. And I'll tolerate that, but I won't tolerate being blamed. So like a money back guarantee, I didn't get a result. Well, show me your work. And even then it's like, okay, well, now, like if you quit after a week of trying something, that's a you problem. So if your people come to your thing and they don't have a breakthrough, something that you can do is like, they have had a breakthrough. You just get to point them back to that breakthrough. They have. You get to ask the right questions. And so you mastering this work is doing more of it. When you attract clients consistently with the methods that I teach, you get to do more of this work. You become a better guide also. And when you become a better guide, you become a better messenger, and it's all linked. So the Conscious Creative Business Immersion is the 3-month messaging mastery program that not only teaches you about your message, it also aligns you with the offer that is going to sell naturally and teaches you sales skills, which this is actually the third one is optional. Because a lot of my people start to share a message so bold that people reach out to them and go, what is it? What do you have? How do I work with you? And that's how it was with me in the beginning. I was writing a blog, I was sharing on the internet, but I didn't have an offer. And people were like, would you be my coach? And I'm like, oh, I'm not certified in coaching. And then I was like, what? Like I have a master's degree in clinical psychology. Like I'm more than certified in coaching. Like I have a yoga therapy degree. I'm more than certified in coaching. So it might be a mindset thing for you. We're never going to know if nobody's checking these things for you. If you're just at home, friggin' like doodling with your offer, adjusting your offer and setting it at this price and trying to sell it and it's not working, getting a no from a client and never offering your offer again, all the things that can happen, thinking shitty thoughts about your audience, like can't afford it, or like judging somebody by their cover, or they have dreads so they can't afford it. No, I have, somebody has come to me living in the same community as I have, all the same money blocks. No, they get an investor and they hire me, right? It's like, you're a white girl from New York, like get the money, like somebody who knows somebody, right? Like if I can do it, you can do it too. And I didn't have the money, but I had these skills to make money. So now going through my program, you will have the skills to make money, because when you have messaging skills and sales skills, you can always switch up your offer. And when you have an offer that you are absolutely in love with, messaging for that becomes natural. So it's more like a pulsating thing. And I will know what you need to work on first when you join one of my offers. I get really deep into where you're at, what you need to work on, and it's different than your neighbors, right? People are good at some things, not good at other things. They have different human designs. You've been in the game for a different amount of time, And you, no matter you're making your first 1K, your first 10K, your first six figures, all the way up to $1 million, you need these three things dialed in. When I want to, now that I'm going for $1 million, like whatever, like astronomical goal, like one offer, maybe not enough. Now that I have three offers and I can deliver them in a way that I don't feel burnt out about it, now I'm set up to have $1 million business. But you can also have $1 million business at one offer priced correctly. So I want to hear from you. I want to be deep in it with you. And I'm not going to listen to your whole life story in a DM on Instagram. I've had people try that. Hire me or don't. Hire me or get in my course and just learn. And when you're ready and you have the money to, when you apply in the skills and you actually invite people into your offer, then you have clients, and I reinvested that back into my business by hiring a coach. So I know, I get it. If you're not at the level where your business is making money, then you need a job. Do not quit your job. People want to quit their job. Don't quit your job. I did. And then it's like, and if you do, oh my God, then this is your job. So when I quit my job, when I had no other job, when it was this do or die, make it work, anxiety about paying my coach, I worked my ass off because I was not going to embarrass myself. So whatever motivates you, and embarrassment motivates you, whatever. It motivated me, I mean. Embarrassment and shame motivated me, and it's fine. But like, would I recommend that again? And to be honest, I didn't start my business like that. When I wanted to start, I went back to waitressing. And it sucked. I had a bunch of jobs that were beneath me, really. I had jobs where I was smarter than the people, but they were my investors. Okay, well, they have this position, they have this money, they can pay me, and I'm investing into my business. If you work well under pressure, then work under pressure. I work well under pressure, but most people don't. I'm a weirdo. But if you work well under pressure, and so what I did was I bought Kajabi. Then I had this $200 payment. It was like $150 payment every month. So I was like, I'm in business. My business have bills. I need to attract clients. Then I hired an assistant. Okay, there's people counting on me to pay them. I'm not going to embarrass myself and not pay them. There's no way that this is not going to work. I work well under pressure. Great, let's go. Yeah, but I would say you ask really great questions because you're at that point where it's like, I'm not going to not have a business. If you're unemployable like me, if you're usually the smartest, witchiest, most talented person in the room, and then you're working for these men who are like, cut you off when you speak, like, or don't value your creativity, you have to create a job for yourself. If you're unemployable like me, you have to create your job for yourself. I've talked to you, Nicole. Yeah, you are the leader. You're the leader. You don't need to work for someone else, but then get an investor. How can we get the money to learn the things that we need to learn, right? And I hate following rules. Exactly, me too. Oh my God, how many times did I quit something because I was like, this is stupid. The way you're doing that is stupid. But if I would have just said this is stupid, but then did not create a better way, then I would just be a complainer. No, this is stupid. I have a better way. I can create a business better than you, and go off and do it. And I did. I was working for my yoga teacher who was, oh, I'm hearing it. She was a demon. I was working for my yoga teacher, and yoga teachers are supposed to be love and light. No, yoga is also Kali. And she was the dark feminine for me, and she didn't value my input. She said she was going to hire a professional. She was paying me less than minimum wage, using spiritual manipulation, saying like, in Indian culture, we just you respect the teacher, and you do. Yes, you like serve the teacher, so the teacher will give you the lesson. But it is not that era anymore. And I'm not from India. I'm from the U fucking S of the stupid ass A. And whatever, like, it served me well because I am a rebel for that reason. And rebelliousness is encouraged there. So it was like, and we're encouraged to like be entrepreneurs. And so it's like, excuse you? Excuse you, lady. So I quit. I didn't give her any notice. I said, fuck you. And then I became a professional. And the things that I was trying to invite her to do and do for her, I just did for me. And now I make 6 figures a year, uh, teaching on yoga. Everything is yoga. So yeah, like, oh, the anger is coming back around. I definitely thought I healed this, but like, it's just like hell to the no. I'm mad. I'm mad for all of you stuck in shitty situations. But like, if you get mad, take action. Like, if you get mad, use that as fuel. I use that as fuel. Oh God, I'll even tell the story too. I also like, I would tried to, right before this, right when I quit, I tried to go back to Hawaii, tried to live with my friend, and my friend betrayed me. She did something that, oh, made me so mad. And so I I hated it. I had to leave Hawaii. I went back to live with my mom. I'm 30, like 34, 35 at this point. Like, this was a rock bottom for me. So I'm living on a couch in my mom's house, 30 something years old. And I'm like, I used it as fuel. I did nothing. I didn't see any of my old friends. I was like, nope. And I wrote fuck you in a notebook for a week, maybe a month. Every morning I just wrote fuck you in a notebook for a month. And this is a practice called is shadow work. It's also from the Artist's Way, Julia Cameron, of just like writing. Um, it's not a love letter. It's not a manifestation. It's not affirmation. It's just like brain dump. Get the naughty things, complain into the notebook, never look at it again, and move on with your life. And so every morning I wrote F you. Then I spent 5 hours filming, filming the things that I needed. Then I went to work at night as a waitress. And finally, a month later, I made my first $1,000 in business because I'm unstoppable. And if you don't have that kind of energy, but you don't have a job, get that kind of energy. How do you get that kind of energy? Module 2 of my resonant energy. It's like, stop undervaluing yourself. Confidence is something that you build, but like, you're not going to build it talking shit about yourself. So in my resonant energy masterclass, module rather, that comes in the business immersion, we get deep in energy. We get deep into the energetics of it all. And like, my energy is just like, I am unstoppable. So when somebody quits over a little obstacle or doesn't think that their words are good enough, I'm like, well, what are you going to do about that? Are you just going to sit in that forever? Like, let's ask you a question, and then you can ask your potential clients this question someday. But if you did nothing today and you were in the same space you were next year, what would that do to your confidence? What would that do to your self-trust? What would that do to your emotional world? And if the answer is like, oh God, no, this is not good, then what are you doing that you can do, that you do have time for, that you can create time for, that you can sacrifice time in another place to give time to this, to make this dream a reality? Because it isn't easy, okay? But the alternative was so much harder for me. Working for somebody else when I didn't even respect them and they didn't respect me, no. So I think that's all. Feel free to reply to any of my emails and ask any of your questions. Email me, message me if you didn't get your question answered. I'm here to answer your questions for a limited time. As soon as the Conscious Creative Business Immersion starts, I will be fully immersed in answering their questions. So if you have questions, ask them. I'd love to answer them for you. And I'd love to see you inside of the immersion or the school, or the very least, I want to know what book you're reading to build your business. All right, folks, I will talk to you so soon. Thank you for being here so much. Aloha. You're welcome.